Hey, it's Tuesday, January the 6th of 2026, and my name is Tom Rigsby. Welcome to your ReadyCore Daily Brief. On today's show, before you can prepare, you have to define what you're really prepping for, and it's probably not what you think. We'll get to that in just a minute. First, let's get you up to speed with the latest from the RISAT team and your daily SITREP.
This is your AmCon Daily SITREP for January the 6th, 2026. Up first today, a major cross-country storm system is expected to bring rain, snow, and severe weather threats to millions by late this week. The storm will move into the plains and upper Midwest by Thursday, carrying the risk of up to an inch of rain in the southern plains and snow from New Mexico north into Minnesota. Severe weather is anticipated Friday across the Deep South, including parts of the lower Mississippi and Tennessee valleys, possibly bringing gusty winds and blowing snow through the weekend for the Great Lakes and Northeast regions. In other news, soaring electricity costs are pushing residents in West Virginia and other states to desperate measures. Electricity rates in West Virginia have surged nearly 34% between 2019 and 2024, with 37% of households spending over 6% of their income on energy bills. This price spike is largely attributed to the state's continued reliance on coal and the rapid increase in AI data centers that consume vast amounts of power. This trend is driving up electricity prices nationwide, especially in the West and Northeast, and is expected to continue through this decade. Turning our attention to security matters, a quarter century after 9/11, terrorism trends in the United States show a fragmented but persistent threat environment. Most terrorist acts in 2025 were carried out by lone actors or small networks, motivated by overlapping ideological, religious, and personal grievances, rather than coordinated campaigns. Authorities anticipate that 2026 will see continued low-intensity violence, often targeting public spaces, transportation, and symbolic sites, especially around significant anniversaries like September the 11th. Protests and civil unrest continue across the country, with various groups demonstrating on issues ranging from government policies to energy concerns. Notable protests scheduled for today include events in Los Angeles, California, and Fort Wayne, Indiana. Citizens are urged to maintain situational awareness when attending public events, report anything suspicious to authorities, and share relevant information with RISAT teams via regional communication channels. Finally, a quick look at today's weather. Pacific systems will bring heavy mountain snow to the Pacific Northwest and parts of the interior West, with wintry precipitation spreading from the Great Lakes to New England through Tuesday. Much of the central and eastern U.S. will experience well above average temperatures this week. Two cold fronts will pass through the Northwest, with it delivering significant snow to the Cascades and northern Rockies. A quick-moving storm system will bring mixed precipitation, including freezing rain, to the upper Midwest and Great Lakes today and then the Northeast by Wednesday. Be prepared for potentially hazardous winter conditions in these areas. Looking ahead on the AmCon calendar, several events are set over the next week. The Broward County, Florida chapter will hold a monthly meetup with a barbecue on January 13th in Sunrise, Florida. From January 15th to 18th, the NWFL January Winter Camp will take place at Sand Pond Campground in Ebro, Florida, featuring camping and community activities. Also, from January 16th to 18th, the third annual Illinois Winter Camping event is scheduled at Starved Rock State Park in Oglesby, Illinois, offering training on radio communications and winter camping skills. On January 22nd, the Oklahoma Ready Corps will host its January meeting in Norman, Oklahoma, and later January 24th and 25th, the Southeast Regional Winter Field Day exercise will occur in Tupelo, Mississippi, with in-person training and local events encouraged. Members can access the American Contingency Members-Only site to get the full report and more in-depth analysis of today's stories, along with practical preparedness tips, training opportunities, and resources to help you, your family, and your neighborhood stay crisis ready.
When Ryan and Emma first joined their neighborhood team, everyone went around the circle answering one question. What are you preparing for? One guy said economic collapse, another one said cyber attack, and Emma said snowstorms. But when they looked closer, all three answers had the same underlying problem: losing access to power, supplies, and transportation. Different causes, same impacts. That's when it clicked. The event is less important than how it changes your life. When you begin assessing your risks, start broad. List the things that could disrupt your normal routines: weather events, job loss, regional unrest, infrastructure failure, any of those things, whatever applies to you. But then you have to translate each one of those into its practical impacts. For example, a hurricane is going to lead to power outages, limited mobility, fuel shortages. Civil unrest might lead to supply chain disruptions, communications breakdowns, or movement restrictions. A job loss could create financial strain, limited access to resources, and changes in priorities. This approach helps you focus on what preparedness really means, sustaining your lifestyle through disruption. You can't control the event, but you can prepare for the effects. That's how one skill, one kit, or one habit can serve you in a dozen different crises. It's the difference between reactive prepping and intentional readiness. So tonight I want you to grab a sheet of paper, or even better, open your notebook. Write down 3 events you're most concerned about. And then next to each one, I want you to list the practical impacts that it would have on your daily life. That's your foundation for planning. All right. Tomorrow we'll talk about how to prioritize those risks, how to separate the possible from the probable so you can prepare with focus and confidence. Thanks as always for listening to the AmCon and Ready Core. See, I did it again. Thanks as always for listening to the Ready Core Daily Brief. If you're already a member, take a minute and check out today's resources on the members only platform. And if you're not, super easy. Head over to AmericanContingency.com, join the network, and start building real resilience today. I'm Tom Rigsby. Stay alert, stay ready, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.